Prime Minister, this is a foreign affairs question to you. All right? Now, I don't have to lecture you on the history of African people in the Western Hemisphere. Why didn't you stop this labor right from filibustering the time? You questioned me about you didn't stop her?
Excuse me, sir. Get to the question, please.
Now, why don't you all have some respect? This is why Jamaica is the way it is. Because you have no respect for yourself.
Now, in this video, we'll take a look at this town hall meeting that was organized to host the Prime Minister of Jamaica, Dr. Andrew Michael Holness, to deliberate with the people of Jamaica on issues that bother them as regards education, health, environment, the financial sector, the real estate industry, and all other sectors that matter to the people of Jamaica. So let's watch this video in order to hear his response to all these questions from the people of Jamaica. But before we watch the videos, if you haven't yet liked this video, kindly like the video and also subscribe to the channel. Let's watch the video together.
Now, yes, my question to you, Prime Minister, is this. You know the history of Haiti, our family, or African people in Haiti. I don't need to lecture you on that. The history is there. Now, the United States has had its boots on the necks of the African family in Haiti for hundreds of years. The amount of invasion and the massacres that has taken place in Haiti at the hand. I'm leading up to it. The amount of massacres that has been perpetrated on our family in Haiti. To this day, the question I'm asking you is, what were the incentives that caused Jamaica, that traitor in Kenya, Ruto, and the rest of the CARICOM people to be sending mercenaries or Buffalo soldiers into Haiti to brutalize our people? Right? United States don't want to do that dirty work anymore. So they hire out Quislings to go there and to murder and to massacre our race, our people. I want to know, what is the incentive for you leaders to take on such an assignment? That is my question to you.
My friend, I respect your perspective, but I disagree wholeheartedly with what you have said. Jamaica is not Jamaica is an independent nation, and we are a sovereign country. Yes. Let us be clear that we were invited by the government of Haiti. Yes. Let us be clear. I visited Haiti on a mission, and when I met with all the stakeholders, speaking with Haitians, not with people outside, Haitians, Haitian stakeholders, Haitian politicians, Haitian churches, civil society, intellectuals and academics, they have all said that they need security support. But let's be clear, we are not acting on the directions of anyone. Correct. I want that to be clear. This notion that we cannot act with our own agency is false and should be dismissed. We are sending support to Haiti because we have solidarity with the people of Haiti. They have asked for our support. But let us also be clear that it is in our interest. Guns come into Jamaica from Haiti. Please, sir, accept that Jamaica can act in its national interest.
All right.
And it is about time that black countries and black nations support each other.
Me is a person who come home very regular, right? This year, me and my kids them the home, right? And we're in which the beach them. We have a big problem with the beach. If you don't stay in a hotel, it come like so we don't have access to the beach. Me there with my youth them, right? And Dump-Up Beach, which is Harmony Beach right now, by 5 o'clock them cut off, right? And if them cut off and you don't have a hotel in a Montego Bay, there's nowhere to go to the beach but the one, I think, I remember the name for, the Jimmy Cliff Boulevard, right behind the airport there, so. And me feel like a stranger in my own country. When I ask the people to invest, me buy a little house in Mandeville, and it's like me I do an Airbnb. And the problem I have with JPS and cable flow.
All right, what's the
right?
question, sir?
So my question to you is, Minister Vaz, he might take on certain things, but me I wonder how and what and where you put in place in order to make these companies do better. Because right now, me I pay for something when me not get. Right now, my cable is still off. All of my things in my house are smart lock, smart this. And it's like, I don't have no access. I don't have no eyes for my place.
All right.
You understand?
So the
Someone
question...
know the question, 1 minute, sir.
No,
the
question get to the question.
How can I?
No, I appreciate. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Very quickly.
No disrespect, I'm sorry. But,
forgive me if I move very quickly through
yes.
sites
I
through
understand.
them. So the issue of beaches is a live one. And what the government, the issue, my friend, is not that there aren't any beaches. The issue is that the beaches have to be developed and secured so that people can access them. And what we have been doing, for example, you mentioned Harmony Park. I don't know how many of you have gone to Harmony Park and seen what we have built there. It's a lovely facility. And we're going to be building all around Jamaica access like that. Now, the closing time might be an issue, so I can appreciate what you're saying. I look into that to see if you can extend the closing time. But even if you were to have beaches open for whenever, for whatever time, there is still the issue of security and sanitation and so forth. So we are making investments in our beaches. And I want you to be assured that those investments are all going to be free for public access. In terms of the utilities and the standard of service that they are given, the utilities are regulated independently by the Office of Utilities Regulations. We have noticed, however, that there is a fall off in standards. And we have been putting pressure on the OUR and the utility company themselves, in particular JPS, to improve their standards. You have mentioned the activities of Minister Vaz, who has been very strident with JPS, and we have gotten some results there. We will pay some attention now to the internet companies and the telecommunication companies to ensure that the services that they are mandated to do, they are actually delivering them.
Okay. Thank you, PM. All right, so Ms. Brown, to go. Ms. Brown.
To the Minister and our Prime Minister, thank you for your informative report on the development and growth of our island. My concern, because everybody has a pet peeve, so to speak, we cannot have, we can't have growth and development in so many areas of our country and moving forward unless we also consider the environment. And I've not heard either of you talk about the environmental impact of roads and developing and water and all the things that are really critical to the continued success of our country. Can someone speak to the environment, please? Thank you. And I really appreciate all you've said. Thanks.
Very powerful question. Very important one. And in fact, that's why I'm here for the Summit of the Future. It's about ensuring that whatever we do is sustainable. And indeed, sustainability is an important part and indeed has been mainstreamed into what we're doing. So I wish to assure you that consideration and protection of the environment is paramount for the government.
All right, thank you. Before I go to the next microphone, Minister?
No, it's okay. I just realized the number of persons. But
okay.
If I get to zero after, I'll share some more.
Okay. All right, sorry. Mr. Prime Minister, one of the questions fielded, well, the summary of it, what steps are being taken to integrate agricultural science in schools and improve facilities to engage students in modern agriculture and technical education?
You know, that's a question that we could easily answer. But what I would say to you is, let's take the questions from the floors.
Okay.
Critical one.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
So the answer to that is yes, that is happening.
It is happening, and there is investment in Bodles, the Agricultural Research Center. There is a lot happening at CASE in poultry expansion and agri-science. Ebony Park at Hart, etc., has a whole new set of technologically based courses in climate smart technology, as well as organics and other good things are happening. But I agree with Prime Minister.
All right.
Say the people.
Mr. Reid. All right, while they're fixing that mic, I'll come back to...
It's good. It's okay. It's
okay.
good. Yes, protocol has been established. Now, it's a fact that mental illness has been on the rise, especially amongst young people. What mechanism do you have to combat that?
Right, so there's, that's an excellent question. Mental health has been an increasing issue across the world, especially after COVID. And it has been something that in Jamaica, its treatment has been significantly constrained over the years by stigma. So one of the things that the Ministry of Health is doing is actually a campaign to destigmatize mental health. So going into the schools and actually encouraging churches and other partners to speak about the need to get counseling and help if you have a problem. There's also a hotline. There's a hotline for young people in particular, and there are 2 youth hubs. We're rolling out more, working with the UN to roll more out across the island, where young people have a safe space to come and talk about the problems that they're having. But there's also a hotline that deals particularly with people having suicidal thoughts. But there's a general encouragement. There's been a full rehabilitation of Bellevue, which now has a recreational park, and has its standards and beautification have been lifted so that I know you all know about the stigma of Bellevue and Mylon. All of that is gone. It's about trying to ensure that people get the help that they need and they get it how they need it. So I want to encourage you or to assure you that it is something that's very much on our agenda. There's also a high school campaign where we even have wellness benches where persons are encouraged to take a quiet moment to think about challenges and to engage with counselors. So it is a very important issue, and we are working on it, although it is a massive one.
Thank you, Minister. Mr. Burke?
Okay. Oh. Good evening. My name is Alexia. I am a junior in high school, and I wanted to speak, bring 2 topics to detail, basically hearing what you said about AI being in healthcare and also high employment rates. And I also wanted to speak on behalf of a lot of kids that are my age that have concerns about this. I have been looking to become a neurosurgeon since the age of 4 years old. I went to Jamaica in April recently, and I saw the campus of the University of the West Indies, and I've been looking into that. But after hearing about AI being in healthcare, I was wondering if that wouldn't be considered a possible conflict or a risk that could have due to artificial intelligence being involved in healthcare, which is also involved with life and death situations.
I don't think that's the intention, and that's a fantastic question. And this is the incredible time in the world in which we are. And we were talking today, as a matter of fact, about how being in spaces where young people come, they always introduce a new area of discussion or a new perspective on matters, which is why it's always so important to have you present. So thank you for your question. We're aware that AI has challenges as well as opportunities. And I think the world is trying to figure out, of course, how best we leverage the opportunities and not be crippled by fear of the challenges. So a lot of the work that's happening now is about international cooperation on these issues. In fact, it's one of the things that PM has called for and will call on the world in respect of again tomorrow. We are aware of the sensitivities, and it may well be that AI is used to take the stress off of people who are answering the phone at hospitals or at critical care places, to move systems that don't require complex decision making in the first iteration. But that's still taking pressure off people working in the healthcare sector. I think there's a lot of steps to be taken. So I think you raise an excellent question, but there's a lot of work to be done, and I don't think you need to fear at this point that people will take crazy decisions.
All right, thank you, Minister. Ms. Brown?
Yeah. Maybe just following her concern, it is important to know that the AI system that we are developing at the Consulate is a private AI system that is dedicated just to the Consulate General of Jamaica, and actually persons' information will not be shared anywhere.
Right. So just to reiterate, so as you know, ChatGPT, Google, Gemini, they share their information widely. What we're doing is closed off, won't be shared anywhere else, so you won't find that your information is all over the internet. Right. All right, Ms. Brown?
The most honorable Dr. Andrew Michael Holness and your entourage, I greet you in the mighty name of Jesus. Yes. I am Stephanie, originally Richards, from St. Thomas, Dalvey District, underwrite from Mr. Beresford, Itaford Steele. You can remember that name, sir? Okay. Mr. Prime Minister, I am asking you to give my Member of Parliament an assignment for me, please. I've migrated a number of years now, but I am a born laborite. My blood is green. I campaign very hard when it's election time and social media. I get cursed out. When I used to work in Princess Margaret, I was one man against the PMP when the election is lost. The water situation is very bad. And I want to know who must I talk to about my rebate not getting water in Dalvey and in Eastern St. Thomas. The water situation, Mr. Charles then had put a tank there, and I don't know if it's a sabotage with Water Commission, is sabotage in the Jamaica Labour Party or what. So I'm asking you, I need some answer about the water situation in Dalvey. There's no water and they keep sending bills, and we're paying the bills and we're not getting back anything. And if you don't pay the bill, them keep mounting up the bill, and you have to pay it and you're not getting any water. And they are aware that there's no water. So please give Ms. Charles the assignment for me, please, when you go back down there to sort out the water problem underneath Mr. McLeod. Watch.
Well, listen.
Thank you.
Even if I did not take notes, what you have said is seared in my mind. So when I go back, I am going to look up the water situation in Dalvey and see how best we can alleviate the circumstances there. I appreciate very much your very strident advocacy for your community. God bless you and thank you.
All right, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. All right, just a little reality. We only have 5 minutes before we have to leave the theater. So we'll take 2 questions, but we have to...
Extended to 10.
Oh, did?
Extended. No. The time has been extended. So we can take 20 more minutes.
All right. All right. Yes, let's go. All right. Miss Reynolds.
No, it's not.
Good evening, everyone. I had the opportunity, greetings to everyone on this stage. Thank you so much for this evening. I had the opportunity to attend the town hall back in 2016 when I posed the question as someone who was starting her dissertation journey. I am an occupational therapist and I specialize in autism with children. And we have a very dire situation in Jamaica. And I asked the question years ago about how we can repatriate professionals into the special education system, because I had the opportunity to visit and lecture at UE in 2016 when I met 2 out of only 3 working occupational therapists in special ed. So I would like to know, 8 years later, what improvements or what infrastructure do you have in place to address this special education deficit, especially the rising increase with children with autism?
Thank you.
I can't give a full, thank you for that question. It's such an important issue, and I, in fact, was just speaking to a gentleman yesterday who PM had charged with developing a plan for a school for children specifically who are on the spectrum. And I need to follow up with you on that and give you the update. But one thing I can say, and I don't have a full update for you, is that there's now an occupational therapeutic center at Maxfield, on the property of Maxfield Children's Home, but it's not only closed to that home. So it deals with the full spectrum of treatment, and it is fully staffed. We are expanding beyond that in training in some of the basic diagnostics, but I know that whatever we are doing, we need to do more, because the scope of the problem is deep. Another thing that we do have is an enhanced shadow program where you can apply to the Ministry of Education in order to get a shadow identified to help your child who is in school.
So
that's not... Sorry, go ahead.
Just quickly, because what has happened is that there is an increase in diagnosis.
Yeah,
so that is a direct result of a greater service to help to diagnose the problem. So in the last decade, the awareness of children who are on the spectrum has increased in the society, and the ability to diagnose has increased, so too the ability to treat. And what the government has done is to increase its budget. So now, children who are diagnosed can get, in some instances, full support, totally, for fees and treatment. And they get, as you were saying, Minister, a shadow. They get someone to sit with them in class. And we have built one, so far, therapeutic center that deals with a whole range of these issues, and the plan is to build about 4 or 5 more across the country. So a lot has happened since, including the government making special allocations to assist parents of children who are on the spectrum.
But we don't have enough professionals, so if you want to come home, please do. Please do. There's a lot of work, and there's good private business and public business as well. It's an important area, and we need professionals like you.
All right.
Let us.
We need the portal, so you have to create one for us.
That's all. All right, thank you, PM, thank you, Minister. All right, there's a lady in a wheelchair at the back, and she had a question. Mr. Burke, are you with her?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Yes, I am.
All right, go ahead.
Testing. Can you hear me?
Yes, we are.
Good evening. I was the first person here at 4:30 p.m. Traveled across the Bronx, so I beg to please ask my question. Bear with me, please. Good evening, Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness, Minister Kamina Johnson-Smith, and Consul General Miss Alison Wilson. Welcome to the Bronx. I did some research, and Jamaican is the dominant Black immigrant culture in New York City. The Borough President's Office says there are some over 300,000 people of Jamaican descent in areas across the city. I am a proud descendant of Jamaican parentage. My late father from St. Mary's and my mother is from Manchester. I have been going to Jamaica since I was in my mother's womb.
Excuse me, I'm sorry, but can you get to the
question?
Okay,
I'll get to the point.
Yes,
the point is, I love Jamaica so much that during my master's program, I was given information of becoming a citizen of Jamaica. So I received dual citizenship, and I traveled to Jamaica every year. Unfortunately, due to gun violence, that's why I'm in a wheelchair, my first worry was, can I travel to Jamaica? And luckily, I was blessed with family and people in the community who renovated the home, and I can travel to Jamaica in my wheelchair. So my question is about the healthcare system. I had an uncle, retired police sergeant, who was in Mandeville Hospital. I had an aunt who was in Kingston Hospital, and the care was detestable. If I asked many Jamaicans here and in Jamaica, and they said, it's the norm. If you don't have money, you suffer, or unfortunately, you die. So my question is, you can have all the innovative healthcare systems. However, how can you make sure that the quality of care is given to the Jamaican community? Thank you.
I think the Prime Minister was speaking about that earlier, and I spoke about that as well. This is the training that's taking place. There's also a culture of care that Minister Tufton has been speaking about, so that to recognizing that there are challenges in the system. So we're not only improving infrastructure and the conditions in which our clinics and hospitals operate, but we're also trying to deal with training in respect of care. So I clearly can't speak to a specific circumstance, and I'm very sorry to hear about it, but I don't think there are specific issues that we could take further today.
All right, thank you. All right, thank you, Mr. Reed. All right, next question, we have to move. Ms. Reynolds, the lady in front of you.
Good evening, Prime Minister Holness. Should we address everybody? I'm gonna make it fast, yes. Consul General Wilson and Minister Johnson-Smith. My name is Shari Linton, Esquire, and I am a Jamaican American. My parents were one of the first people to import goods from Jamaica to South Florida in the early 80s. So we understand the importance of importing goods. I own a tea company, and my family currently makes drinks like Roots Drinks and Irish Moss, right? So my question this evening is, with the rapid growth of platforms like Alibaba that makes it easy to import goods from China, how can U.S. businesses connect with Jamaican growers and suppliers to make wholesale and bulk purchases, which can in turn stimulate the Jamaican economy?
All right. All right, thank you for that question.
Well, there's actually some work that's being done in that regard. I know that there have been one or two private sector attempts, but to get the mass use of their platforms hasn't really happened. But I did meet someone earlier who had was it eatjamaicafood.com?
Yes,
Yes.
he's here.
Who is launching a platform to do just that.
Perfect.
Eatjamaicafood.com. Please, if you're here, please tell me if I'm getting your name right. Eatjamaica.com? All right. Yeah, and he's doing just that. So he's buying in bulk from different suppliers. They're consolidating here and then shipping to you wherever you want across the world. That's his thing, and so it's incredible that you asked that question.
Well, that's great.
If anybody knows him, please introduce him to this lady quick.
Yes, Shari's team will be a big customer. Thank you.
Thank
Have
you.
a good evening, everybody.
The next question, Mr. Burke.
Okay, good night. My question is directed to Mr. Holness and Ms. Johnson-Smith. So, as a passionate resident, I would say, of Jamaica, I have been here for a number of years, since I was a teenager. I'm 44 years old now, by the way. What measures are you guys putting in place in the construction industry to ensure that there is proper oversight, a proper oversight body to protect us returning residents? Because I returned to Jamaica last year, November, and I bought into a brand new community in Ocherius, and I have been just plagued with a number of issues. Mold, if that was here in the US, they would have closed down that place entirely, the entire place. And I have done everything possible to try and get the developers to remedy the issues to no avail. So what I have complained to the local municipalities, NIPA, they've all come in and look at my property, and no one has yet to reach out to me. So what measures are you guys putting in place to protect us as returning residents going back to Jamaica who are coming in heavily to invest? Because I own 4 properties there and I have issues with almost all of them. But this one is the worst.
Thank you.
A very important question. You're not the only person who has complained about rogue developers. Now, just to be clear, my knowledge of the industry, based upon the portfolios that I hold, there are a few developers who have given a bad name to the industry. But you will also know that there are several good developers, reliable, trustworthy, people with good reputation, that build high quality homes comparable to anywhere in the world. Now, the circumstances that you have mentioned has come to my attention based upon where you've said you have purchased. And what I would do is if you could give your name and contact, I will have a direct look at your circumstances.
Thank you, sir. All right, thank you. And just a reminder.
Can someone take our contact?
Huh? Yes, Mr. Burke, can you
Just
take
to be
our
clear,
contact
however,
information?
Sorry, just to be clear, that developer is a private developer. It has nothing to do with any government-sponsored or government-built housing scheme. That's a private developer.
All right. Sorry, sir. You'd have to join the line. No, I'm sorry. We have a limited time, so we can't do a follow-up. But take the information. All right, Ms. Burke, Ms. Brown, and just remember, ladies and gentlemen, no, I'm saying take the number.
So remember now, the end product of the home might be, in other words, they may have passed the regulatory scrutiny, but in terms of the finishing, because you mentioned problems like mold and so forth, so clearly they would have to be compliant with health standards and investigations, which are slightly different from the real estate standards. And therefore, what I'm saying is, if I get her number, then I can get the specifics of her situation and direct the appropriate entities to address it.
All right. Thank you. And just remember, ladies and gentlemen, keep the questions short. We have a limited time, and we have quickly. Mr. Reid.
Good evening to everyone. Good evening, Prime Minister, and your members that is with you. I'm a Jamaican. My name is Orel Dossard. Come from Mandeville. There, my father, Gaston Dossard, right?
Question, sir.
But,
get to the question.
Prime Minister, my question to you is this.
Burke, the last two questions, Mr. Burke and Ms. Reynolds.
All right. Good evening, everyone. You said that we scarcely hear that we want a better economy. To purchase property in Jamaica, why is it quoted in U.S. currency as it's defaulted as the primary currency and not the currency of the land? The prices in U.S. currency is not feasible to Jamaicans that want to return home. I would like to know how will you regulate this situation, because this would be the next step for capital investment growth.
Just to be clear, that for a property to be sold in Jamaica, regardless of whatever price is quoted in US, when it gets to the tax office, the prices are in Jamaican dollars. So just to be clear, right? So this is a private transaction between two persons. The government can't intervene and specify. It's because we do have a free market, essentially. But your underlying point is, why is, property cost so high? Why is the real estate cost so high? And again, I will point this out to you. Because there is great demand. Be frank with you. I give you a respectful of the time. We have built a housing development and we have advertised 500 houses for sale. 26,000 persons sent in applications. There is 100,000 housing deficit in Jamaica. So if you want an industry to invest in Jamaica, real estate and construction, because the demand is there, and not just from Jamaicans, but for Jamaicans living overseas. What we would love is more efficiency in construction, innovation and technology. So I'm throwing it out. If you want to invest in Jamaica, real estate is the place to invest.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Prime Minister. So the last question goes to the lady by Ms. Reynolds.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, Mr. Prime Minister. My name is Kishelle Davis. By profession, I work on Wall Street, and I'm also competing for Miss World America. My question is to expand on your point regarding diversifying the Jamaican economy. Looking at Singapore as a case study, between 1964 and 2022, the Singaporean economy has expanded from 468 million to currently in the billions. A major contributor to its economic growth is within its financial sector that contributes up to 13.5%. Regarding Jamaica and growing the economy, what plans are in place for Jamaica to become a financial hub of the Caribbean to even include South America?
Go ahead.
I will ask the question again. What plans are in place for Jamaica to become the financial hub of the Caribbean to include South America?
All right, so let me be clear with you on this. Jamaica is already the financial hub of the Caribbean. Jamaica, you may not know this, but Jamaica has the most advanced financial sector in the entire region. Let's be clear on that, including the Dominican Republic. Jamaica's financial sector is really set to become the leader, not necessarily in Central America, but even in Central America, except for Panama, our financial sector has really done well, and we continue to strengthen it And in fact, our economic stability has led quite a bit of financial stability to the financial sector. And it is going to become an asset for Jamaica. So my answer to you is yes, we are already on that path.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome back. So this town hall meeting that was held to host the Prime Minister of Jamaica, Dr. Andrew Michael Holness, was really a success, even though there are some people who hold other views. Now, issues or questions were asked in regards to areas of the economy, the financial sector, education, health, infrastructure, and all other aspects of the Jamaican economy and problems that affect the people of Jamaica. And I think the Prime Minister did his best, as well as the Minister on stage did their best in answering some of the questions, even though some people believe that some answers that were given to the question were quite not adequate or sufficient enough. Now, there was a man who asked a question about the crisis in Haiti and Jamaica's agreement to send its troop or military in order to combat the gang activities or operations that were happening in the country of Haiti. Now, the man's perspective was that the United Nations has selected Jamaica, being a dominantly black country, in order to fight against another black country, Haiti. But the Prime Minister refutes this. He says he totally disagrees with the man's perspective, in the sense that Jamaica, he says, is a sovereign nation and takes decisions on its own. So the Prime Minister of Jamaica was invited by the Prime Minister of Haiti, where they spoke and had this agreement that soldiers in Jamaica will be sent to Haiti in order to help soldiers in Haiti fight against gang operations in the country of Haiti, and most especially the capital city of Haiti. The Prime Minister went on to elaborate that this would be a win-win situation, in the sense that there are some guns and ammunitions that find its way in Jamaica from the country of Haiti. So if they are able to help Haiti fight against these gang operations, it means, in a way, guns that would be sent to Jamaica to make the country insecure would also be dealt with. So it's a win-win situation, and he therefore disagrees with the man's perspective. Also, another man asked on an issue with access to beaches in Jamaica. Now, it looks like private developers are buying beaches and developing the place. So this man had a concern and asked the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister then says that these beaches indeed need to be developed in order for the people of Jamaica to be able to use them. So it looks like the private individuals are being brought in to build the beaches, but they are quite not accessible to the Jamaican public. The answer given by the Prime Minister looks a bit unsatisfactory, but that is what he said. Also, I like the question asked by this junior high school girl by the name Alexia, who had a concern that AI may be taking jobs that she is planning, or a career that she is trying to pursue. She says she had a passion at the age of 4 to be in that career, but with the advent of AI, that is artificial intelligence, she is quite scared that her dreams or her career may not come into fruition and may be taken by AI. And I think the minister addressed her situation, and all through it all, I believe this program was a successful one. Let me know what you think about this video in the comment section below. Do you think the answers given by the Prime Minister was adequate and satisfactory enough? What do you think can be done in order to help some of these problems that were mentioned in this town hall meeting? Share this video to your friends and your family, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Just click the subscribe button down here, click on the subscribe button, click as well on the notification bell, and I'd like to see you again in my next video.